In the misty, boundless cosmos, where space and time intertwine in infinite harmony, there exists something more than just glowing stars and rotating planets. It is an unimaginable network of hidden connections that links us not only to the world around us, but also to the very flow of time itself. In these dark corners of the universe, invisible portals exist, connecting moments that have already passed and those that have yet to come. But what if we, humans, accidentally encounter them? What if, at times, we are able to see, hear, and even feel the worlds that exist in another time? In a distant galaxy, where space and time do not adhere to the laws we understand, there exist invisible portals that connect different moments in time, like bridges stretched across an endless river. These portals are not just black holes as we often imagine them, but living, energetic structures that weave the fabric of time itself, connecting the past, present, and future. They are temporal nodes, creating a unique network that links billions of years of the past with moments yet to come. These nodes exist not only in physical space, but also within the realms of mental and energetic flows that permeate all living things. Imagine the universe as an enormous web, where every event, every movement of a planet, and every atom is a point of intersection between these temporal streams. We can only see a tiny fraction of this vast cosmos, but what if we could peer beyond the limits of what we perceive as reality? What if every glance at the stars isn't just an observation of light traveling toward us from distant horizons, but a chance to feel a piece of the time in which those stars once existed? Every star, every planet, every cosmic object is not just a physical entity. It is a portal connecting one moment of time to another. And each of these objects plays a role in the grand symphony of time. We, as humans, living on a single planet, are situated at the intersection of many such temporal flows, and every moment of our lives is the result of the interaction between these streams. Far beyond the confines of our solar system, there exist objects like black holes, which, according to scientific theories, might be the most powerful portals of all. These mysterious phenomena are thought to possess an immense gravitational pull capable of bending not only the fabric of space, but also the flow of time itself. As we explore the cosmos, we realize that black holes may not only be places where time is warped, but also potential pathways leading to other epochs, dimensions, and parallel realities. But not all temporal portals are as extreme as black holes. Some are more subtle, hidden in the quiet interstices of space, waiting to be discovered. These portals can be so small and undetectable that they could pass unnoticed by the most advanced instruments. However, their influence is far-reaching. In fact, many of the anomalies we witness in the universe, from strange cosmic events to unexplained phenomena, might very well be the result of these smaller portals interacting with the fabric of time. As scientists strive to uncover the mysteries of the universe, they begin to see patterns emerging, revealing that the cosmos itself might be a grand network, a vast collection of interconnected temporal flows. This intricate structure binds not just the physical,
but also the metaphysical, shaping everything we know. What we perceive as the present could be just one of many fleeting moments in a much larger continuum of time, a fraction of an ongoing process of unfolding and connection. Looking into the stars, we are not merely gazing at distant light. We are catching glimpses of moments that have already passed, moments that are yet to come, and even perhaps glimpses of moments that are happening concurrently in parallel timelines. Every time we observe the night sky, we are looking at a vast network of temporal connections. The stars we see might have burned out millennia ago, yet their light continues to travel to us, connecting us with their distant past. In this sense, we are in constant communication with the past, not in a linear way, but in a cyclical, infinite pattern that spans the ages. Some of these temporal connections are stronger than others. Certain celestial bodies, like the supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies, may serve as anchor points, powerful intersections where time becomes particularly malleable. These locations could serve as crossroads between different timelines, places where reality itself may be more susceptible to fluctuations. Imagine a black hole as a massive cosmic lens focusing the energy of the universe's past, present, and future into a singular point of convergence. And so, as we look deeper into the fabric of the cosmos, we begin to realize that what we understand as time may not be as linear or predictable as we once thought. The stars are not simply distant bodies in the sky. They are living, breathing portals through which time flows and pulses. The galaxies themselves might be the veins of a much larger organism, one that we are only just beginning to comprehend. When we experience déjà vu, or feel as though we've encountered a moment before, it may be that we've briefly slipped through one of these portals, catching a glimpse of a moment in another time. Perhaps these fleeting experiences are brief interactions with the energy flows that crisscross our universe, where past and future moments collide. It could be that just as we are aware of the passage of time, we are also subconsciously aware of the time waves that ripple through the universe, those waves that create the energy pulses connecting past, present, and future together. As we venture further into the unknown, we begin to understand that every event, no matter how small, is the result of this vast cosmic network of temporal intersections. Every time we witness a supernova, a solar flare, or a distant galaxy in motion, we are seeing a physical manifestation of a deeper, more profound connection, a cosmic ballet where time itself is the conductor. In this way, the universe is not just a vast expanse of space. It is an intricately woven tapestry of time and energy where every action, every interaction, and every thought is a part of an ongoing and eternal process. The true mystery lies not just in the stars and planets we observe, but in the hidden network of temporal flows that connect everything together. In the next part of this journey, we'll explore how these portals, although hidden from our immediate perception, might be influencing the events of our own lives, shaping our actions and guiding the very course of history.
As humans begin to grasp the reality of these temporal portals, they start to experience strange phenomena. People begin to recall parallel memories, moments from their past that they cannot explain, as if they've lived through events that were never a part of their lives.
Some feel the eerie sensation of having experienced a future event before it even happens, while others catch fleeting glimpses of long-forgotten histories, as if time itself briefly slipped through the cracks of their present reality. These fragments of time, these sudden flashes of the past or future, leave an indelible mark on those who experience them, sparking a growing curiosity about the hidden forces at play. Perhaps these time portals are more than just invisible pathways through space and time. What if they are the cause of these strange feelings of déjà vu? Those uncanny moments when people are convinced they've lived a situation before, only to realize it's happening for the first time. Could it be that these portals create tiny ripples through the fabric of time, opening windows between different points in history, allowing us to glimpse events long gone or yet to come? One day, while exploring the ruins of an old, abandoned observation station in a desolate, isolated region, a group of researchers makes an astonishing discovery. Among the decaying remnants of the station's equipment, they find an object that emits an energy unlike anything they've encountered before. At first, they assume it's just an old relic, perhaps a malfunctioning piece of scientific apparatus. But as they continue to study it, they realize that this object is radiating unusual energy pulses and electromagnetic frequency that does not match any known technology or natural phenomenon. With further analysis, the team uncovers a shocking truth. This object is not a simple artifact. It's positioned above a temporal node, a precise intersection where the very fabric of time is bent and twisted. The object itself appears to be a portal, a bridge between two different points in time, between the past and the future. The more they investigate, the more they realize that the object is a conduit, a gateway through which time itself flows, connecting moments that were once separated by centuries, millennia, or even eons. The implications of this discovery are profound. Not only does it suggest that time travel could be possible, but it also means that the boundaries between past and future are far more porous than humanity ever imagined. These temporal intersections are not static, they are dynamic, fluid, and capable of interacting with the consciousness of those who come in contact with them. The discovery sends shockwaves through the scientific community, but it also attracts the attention of groups far less interested in academic explorations. Secret societies, long devoted to studying the unknown, begin to take notice of these temporal portals. These groups, whose existence has remained hidden in the shadows of history, believe that these portals are more than just phenomena to be studied. They believe that they could hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of time itself. For centuries, these societies have whispered about ancient secrets and lost knowledge, and now, with the discovery of the temporal node, they see an opportunity to not only travel through time, but to master it. What if these secret organizations already knew of the existence of such portals, hidden away in forgotten corners of the world? Perhaps they've been waiting for a moment like this, when science and mysticism could finally converge, and the power to control time could be within their reach. As the knowledge of the temporal portals spreads, so too does the battle for control over them. Who will be the first to unlock the true potential of these time bridges? And what might they discover in the process. The influence of these portals on Earth has only just begun to reveal itself. And already the fabric of reality feels fragile, as if time itself is becoming less predictable, more malleable. The paths we once walked seem more fluid, and our understanding of fate begins to shift. Could it be that the strange phenomena we experience, those déjà vu moments, those fleeting glimpses of alternate lives, are merely side effects of the forces at work through the portals? The scientists and secret societies alike know that the discovery of the temporal nodes is only the beginning. A new chapter in human history has begun, one where time is no longer a rigid, fixed sequence of events. It is something that can be manipulated, influenced, and understood in ways that were once unimaginable. And as the world begins to wake up to these new possibilities, the questions only grow deeper. What will we do with the power to navigate time? And how far will we go to unlock its deepest secrets?
As technology advances and human understanding deepens, scientists begin to hypothesize that these cosmic portals might not only transmit information across different points in time, but could also manipulate the course of future events. The idea that time itself is fluid, subject to change and influence, challenges our long-held belief in the determinism of fate. As researchers continue to explore the nature of these time portals, they begin to notice strange patterns. Individuals experiencing vivid prophetic dreams, filled with scenarios and outcomes that have not yet occurred. People begin to see future events in a way that they cannot explain. These visions, initially thought to be mere dreams, begin to prove startlingly accurate. But what if these aren't just dreams at all? What if they are glimpses of the future, snippets of upcoming moments transmitted through the portals that bind time? These flashes of future events might not be random. They could be direct transmissions from alternative versions of reality, carried by the temporal flows that run through the portals. It becomes clear that these moments, these flashes of insight into the future, are not simply accidental. They are part of a much larger, interconnected network of time, where past, present, and future are not as separate as we once thought. Imagine for a moment that these glimpses aren't just passive experiences. What if by understanding how time flows and interacts through the portals, we could harness this knowledge to influence the future itself? What if these visions are not random, but instead present us with choices, showing us potential outcomes based on the decisions we make now? This would mean that the future isn't a singular, predetermined path, but a vast network of possibilities, a river of branching timelines waiting to be navigated. If we could access these glimpses, could we steer the course of our destiny in the present? This possibility brings with it profound implications. What if we could use knowledge of the future to make better choices today, to avoid catastrophic events or steer humanity toward a more prosperous, peaceful existence? It would be as if we were receiving cheat codes for life, snapshots of possible futures that we can use to correct course and avoid mistakes. But it wouldn't be without consequence. Each decision we make, after all, ripples through time, creating new outcomes that create their own temporal flows. The interconnectedness of all things becomes evident in these moments of foresight, because, as we know,
Altering one part of the timeline can have a profound effect on the future. Could these visions be the key to understanding what we call destiny? Perhaps what we perceive as fate isn't something imposed on us from an outside force, but rather an interaction between the temporal streams that run through the portals. These streams, composed of countless possibilities, are not as rigid as we once imagined. They are fluid, capable of being reshaped by our conscious awareness. Every choice we make creates a branch, a potentiality that flows into the future. And every time we catch a glimpse of the future, we may be witnessing not just a fixed event, but a possibility, one path among many in the river of time. As more and more people begin to experience these visions, the world starts to change. These seers begin to share their knowledge, influencing global events, making decisions that seem guided by unseen forces. But there are those who view this as dangerous. What if manipulating the future could lead to unforeseen consequences? What if altering one seemingly small event could send shockwaves through the timeline, resulting in a reality that we never intended? The more humans experiment with these glimpses, the more they begin to realize the fine line between guiding the future and distorting it. In the scientific community, these phenomena are met with a mixture of excitement and caution. Some argue that these visions of the future are merely random fluctuations in the brain, just the mind's way of processing information it cannot fully understand. Others believe that these glimpses are in fact windows into a deeper layer of reality, where time is not linear but multidimensional, flowing in all directions at once. These individuals believe that the time portals, like hidden windows between dimensions, allow consciousness to slip between these layers, experiencing alternate timelines as if they were real. To them, the future is not a fixed point, but a dynamic, ever-changing landscape, one that we have the power to shape. There are even rumors that some people, after experiencing a series of these time dreams, begin to develop unusual abilities, an enhanced sense of intuition, an ability to make decisions with an uncanny level of accuracy, or the capacity to anticipate events with striking precision. Could these abilities be a direct result of interacting with the temporal portals? Could these individuals be accessing alternate versions of themselves from parallel timelines, bringing back knowledge and insights from futures they have visited? The boundaries between the conscious and subconscious blur, and it becomes difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. In these moments, the person is no longer merely a traveler through time, but a participant in its creation. As the lines between time and reality begin to dissolve, humanity is faced with a new set of questions. What is the true nature of free will? Are we merely passengers on a predetermined journey, or are we the architects of our own timeline, creating the future with every decision we make? Could it be that the future is not something we are rushing toward, but something we are building piece by piece with each moment, each choice, and each vision? The influence of time portals on Earth is far-reaching, and as scientists continue to investigate, it becomes apparent that these portals are not merely gateways to distant pasts or possible futures. They are active agents, capable of shaping the events they touch, guiding individuals and societies toward certain outcomes. Yet, despite our growing understanding, the full power of these portals remains elusive, hidden just beyond our reach. How much influence we can truly wield over time is still an open question, But one thing is certain: humanity stands at the precipice of a new understanding of time itself. And as we stand there, gazing into the flow of possibilities, we must ask ourselves, what future do we want to create? In the next part of this journey, we will delve deeper into the ethical dilemmas and consequences of tampering with time, exploring the fine balance between knowledge and power and the unforeseen costs of meddling with the very fabric of reality.
Time is not just a linear progression of events. It is a vast, intricate structure, woven with billions of intersections, each one a key to understanding the very fabric of existence. Imagine that each planet, every star, and every celestial body in the universe is not just an isolated object floating in the void. Instead, each one is a node in the vast network of time, a point where past, present, and future converge and interact. These nodes are the places where past, present, and future intertwine, where different strands of time meet and influence one another. In this cosmic web, events are not isolated from each other. Instead, they ripple across time, moving through these nodes and changing the course of reality as they pass. It's as though the universe itself is a giant clockwork mechanism, with every motion, every rotation of a planet, every shift of a star, creating a chain reaction in the very structure of time. These reactions, however, are not always linear. They can spread out, ripple across different dimensions, and sometimes even affect what we perceive as reality. In this sense, the true power of the universe lies in understanding the way these temporal intersections influence the world around us. Scientists have long theorized that everything in the cosmos is connected. They speak of gravity, of the forces that hold planets and stars in their orbits, but they have barely scratched the surface of understanding how time itself operates. Time is more than just the ticking of a clock or the aging of an organism. It is an active, malleable force, capable of shifting and reshaping the reality we know. The discoveries surrounding the temporal nodes suggest that life, events, and even the movements of celestial bodies are not just random occurrences, but part of a larger, interconnected system that transcends what we currently understand. At the heart of this revelation lies the concept of parallels. Every event that happens is linked to an alternate possibility, existing in a parallel timeline or reality. The more we observe these temporal intersections, the more we begin to realize that everything in existence might not just be happening in a single moment, but is part of a grand cosmic dance between multiple versions of reality. Every decision we make, every action we take, could be part of a larger pattern, influencing not just our world, but the very nature of time itself. These temporal nodes, though invisible to most, are the true powerhouses of the universe. They represent the places where timelines converge, where alternate realities cross paths, and where different versions of ourselves might coexist, influencing one another in ways we do not yet fully understand.
The nodes are not just theoretical, they are physical, tangible spaces that exist in the cosmos, often found in the vicinity of massive gravitational forces, such as black holes or neutron stars. These regions, where the laws of physics break down, are the perfect crucibles for time to bend, allowing the past and future to merge, creating a nexus of possibilities.
As the research into these temporal intersections deepens, scientists begin to realize that these nodes are not just points in space, they are also mental structures. They exist not just in the fabric of the cosmos, but within our very consciousness. Our minds, it seems, are capable of accessing these nodes and interacting with them. When people experience moments of déjà vu, or when they have dreams that feel strangely prophetic, they may be tapping into these intersections of time. These glimpses of parallel realities are not random. They are signals, vibrations of time that pass through our consciousness, momentarily opening windows to other worlds, other versions of ourselves. But it's not just humans who are influenced by these temporal nodes. Everything in the universe is interconnected through these points. The gravitational pull of a black hole, for example, may not just affect nearby stars. It may send ripples through the fabric of time itself, altering the course of events that unfold in other parts of the universe. Every action that takes place in one part of the cosmos can have a ripple effect in another, creating a butterfly effect of time where the smallest changes echo across eons. In fact, these nodes might be the very foundation of causality. Without them, events might occur in isolation with no interconnection. But with the nodes, the cosmos operates like a complex web, with each action creating a cause and effect that spans not just space, but also time. The nodes facilitate this exchange, making it possible for events to ripple outward and influence alternate realities. It's as if these points serve as temporal highways, allowing energy and information to travel between different moments, altering the course of history in ways we cannot yet comprehend. But how can we interact with these nodes? How can we harness their power? It's a question that scientists, philosophers, and even secret societies have been asking for centuries. The first step lies in understanding the nature of these intersections, what they truly represent, and how they can be accessed. Some believe that the key to tapping into these nodes lies in the use of advanced technology, perhaps devices that can detect the subtle shifts in the fabric of time and open gateways to these temporal corridors. Others argue that it's a matter of spiritual awareness, that the mind, when in a heightened state of consciousness, can connect with these nodes and travel through time in ways that defy our current understanding of physics. There are those who believe that we may be already using these nodes, whether we are aware of it or not. Dreams and visions of the future could be glimpses into other realities, other timelines, where the decisions we make lead us down different paths. Some have even suggested that moments of déjà vu are not just glitches in the matrix of our mind, but indications that we have, in fact, slipped through a temporal node, if only for an instant. As humanity stands at the precipice of a new era, in which we are beginning to understand the interconnectedness of all things,
The temporal nodes represent both an opportunity and a danger. The temptation to control time, to manipulate the threads of destiny, could be overwhelming. But with great power comes great responsibility. The risk of distorting the timeline or of tampering with events in ways we don't fully understand could lead to catastrophic consequences. The nodes may offer access to unimaginable power, but they also come with a warning. The further we venture into the mysteries of time, the more fragile our reality becomes. And so, as the search for these nodes continues, the question remains, what will we do with this newfound knowledge? Will we attempt to bend time to our will? Or will we respect the delicate balance that governs the fabric of existence, understanding that the power of time should never be wielded lightly? The answers are yet to come, but the journey into the heart of time itself is just beginning.
As humanity begins to probe the mysteries of temporal nodes, some individuals start noticing an unsettling yet fascinating pattern in their sleep. Their dreams are no longer just random assortments of thoughts or fleeting images. They have become vivid, saturated with the textures and emotions of another reality, another time. In these dreams, people find themselves experiencing events as though they are living them firsthand, not merely observing, but feeling the passage of time, the touch of the air, the sounds of a distant era, and even the faces of people who seem both familiar and foreign. These dreams often defy explanation. A person might suddenly dream of walking through a war-torn city from the past, or of interacting with future versions of their own family decades ahead. Some may even see glimpses of their own future, witnessing events they haven't yet lived but that feel strikingly real. What was once thought of as mere subconscious exploration now begins to feel more like time travel, with the dreamer slipping across temporal boundaries, moving between moments in time as easily as one might move between rooms. But what if these dreams are more than just figments of imagination? What if, when we fall asleep, we are not simply allowing our minds to wander freely, but instead we are actually crossing through hidden corridors of time, traveling to distant eras, either past or future? This idea challenges everything we know about sleep and consciousness. Could our minds be so attuned to the temporal nodes that when we close our eyes, we are no longer just unconscious, but are instead crossing the threshold into other time periods? These questions arise when we consider the vivid nature of such dreams. There is something different about them, something that feels far more substantial than the typical confusion of a dream. In these vivid states, dreamers don't just witness events, they participate in them. They may find themselves in ancient civilizations, witnessing monumental events that happened long before their birth. They might even meet people they've never known, but whose faces feel strangely familiar. They may wander through cities that don't exist anymore or visit the homes of long-deceased ancestors, exchanging words with versions of themselves that were once young and full of hope, or perhaps worn down by years of struggle. Some people even claim to have seen future versions of themselves living in a world that looks both familiar and radically different. These dreams can be so detailed, so vivid, that they linger in the waking mind, leaving the dreamer with a sense of déjà vu when they eventually encounter the events in real life, as if their dreams were glimpses of something destined, something that would happen no matter what. And what makes these experiences all the more compelling is that often they don't feel like typical dreams at all. They feel like memories, as if they have already happened, only in another time. Could it be that these dreams are not just flights of fancy, but rather an open window to the past or future? As we sleep, we might be crossing through these temporal portals. Our minds, perhaps more connected to the cosmic web of time than we realize, might be accessing alternate versions of reality, moments when we existed in other timelines, or possibilities of what we might become in the future. Some theories suggest that when we dream, we may not simply be seeing our own future or past, but instead we may be peeking into parallel worlds. These are alternate realities that run parallel to our own, but are slightly different. Different versions of ourselves, different choices, different outcomes. What if the reason we sometimes feel that we've lived through a moment before, the eerie sensation of déjà vu, is because in a parallel timeline we have lived through it? Perhaps when we dream, we are experiencing a convergence between our current life and one of the countless other versions of ourselves moving through other timelines, where the choices we made or didn't make led us down an entirely different path. For example, imagine dreaming about meeting a version of yourself who chose a different career path, or a version of your family that never moved away. Maybe you've even dreamed about versions of your loved ones who never existed in your world, but feel so real that you wonder if they are actual people in another timeline. These dreams, these otherworldly encounters feel real, and they are often so impactful that the dreamer wakes up with a deep sense of purpose or direction, as though the dream was meant to steer them on a new path, offering wisdom from a future they have yet to experience. And what of the recurring dreams that many people have? What if these are not just ordinary patterns of the subconscious, but rather repeated visits to the same temporal node? Perhaps in these dreams, we are being shown versions of ourselves from alternate timelines, or snapshots of key moments in our own personal histories that we have yet to fully understand. These could be fragments of forgotten experiences, or glimpses of futures we may never witness in our own world, yet remain etched into the fabric of time itself. But what if there's something more to these dreams? Could they be more than just glimpses of other times and worlds? What if they are actually messages sent to us from other timelines,
from our own future or past selves, trying to communicate a warning, a lesson, or a vital piece of information that will shape our future decisions. After all, if we are indeed moving through these temporal portals during our sleep, then it reasons to the past and the future may be more aware of us than we think, watching us, observing the choices we make, guiding us towards specific events and decisions that will ultimately lead to our own destiny. Some even speculate that these dreams could be training grounds, places where we go to learn, to prepare for the future, or to correct past mistakes. Perhaps our dreams are not just random visions, but deliberate experiences, orchestrated by some hidden cosmic force, aimed at preparing us for what lies ahead. These dreams might be sending us subtle hints about the choices we are meant to make, the paths we are supposed to follow, or the hidden truths about our existence that we have yet to understand. In the grand design of the universe, maybe the most profound revelations about our lives, about who we are, where we come from, and where we are going, are found not in waking hours, but in the unconscious exploration of time itself during those quiet moments when we sleep. And as we wake up each morning, we carry with us pieces of that dream time, fragments of other worlds, other lives, and perhaps pieces of our own destiny, waiting to unfold in the reality we are living. As we continue to explore the mysteries of time, one thing becomes clear. The temporal portals that we access during sleep may be far more than just dreams. They may be the keys to unlocking a greater understanding of who we are and the greater cosmic order of the universe. Our dreams are not just fleeting moments of imagination. They may be messages from the past and the future, guiding us toward a more profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. While the idea of traveling through time or accessing alternate timelines through these temporal portals may seem fascinating, there are profound risks and consequences that arise when the flow of time is disrupted. As individuals begin to harness the ability to cross through these fragile temporal boundaries, it becomes clear that even the smallest interference in the past or future can create unpredictable ripples throughout the fabric of reality. At first, the effects seem trivial. Perhaps someone experiences a fleeting déjà vu, or an event that seems oddly familiar unfolds. However, as the interactions with these portals grow stronger and more frequent, the temporal layers that govern our universe begin to break down. Imagine time itself as a delicate tapestry, woven together by countless moments and choices. Each time we attempt to cross into another era, whether it's stepping into a forgotten past or witnessing a potential future, we risk tearing that tapestry. The first danger is small disruptions. These are the glitches in time that seem insignificant at first, such as an individual remembering something they never lived, or experiencing a future event that wasn't meant to occur. It may seem harmless, but with each ripple in time, we alter the delicate balance between the present, past, and future.
Over time, these seemingly minor discrepancies can snowball, leading to major fractures in the temporal continuum. What was once a slight distortion in the timeline may grow into a more significant deviation from the natural course of events. One of the most terrifying consequences of manipulating time is the creation of alternate timelines. These alternate realities are not just theoretical. When individuals or events shift between the threads of time, they can diverge into separate paths, fracturing the unified stream of existence. This could result in a reality where major historical events unfold differently, leading to world-changing shifts that were never meant to occur. Imagine a world where a war was never fought, or where certain technological advancements were never achieved. Entire societies and futures could be irrevocably altered simply because of a small, seemingly insignificant change. The more time is meddled with, the more these alternate realities multiply. In some cases, these new timelines may begin to bleed into one another, causing cross-contamination between different versions of reality. The boundaries between what is real and what is imagined begin to blur. People in one timeline may start experiencing memories of another life, one where their choices led them down a different path. Events from one reality may be recalled as if they were part of someone's lived experience, when in truth, they never happened in their current timeline. The constant shifting between these realities could lead to a world where memory itself becomes unreliable, and the very definition of existence becomes uncertain. Even more concerning is the potential for catastrophic paradoxes. These are the types of events that occur when an individual interacts with their own past or future in ways that are not logically possible. For example, if someone were to travel to the past and prevent a significant event from occurring, like stopping their own birth or causing a critical historical event to unfold differently, they might create a causal loop that could erase their own existence from the timeline altogether. This temporal paradox could ripple across all of reality, creating infinite contradictions and resulting in the collapse of the very reality they once knew. It's as if time itself rebels against the intrusion, correcting itself by eliminating the interference, sometimes in dramatic, reality-altering ways. One of the most profound dangers lies in the psychological effects of time manipulation. People who constantly cross these temporal thresholds might find themselves unable to distinguish between their real past and the alternate versions of their history. They may struggle to remember the correct sequence of events, or worse, begin to believe they live in an entirely different reality altogether. The mind, stretched across multiple dimensions of existence, may fracture, leaving individuals unable to comprehend which version of themselves they are experiencing at any given moment. Even more ominously, there is the danger that a ripple effect could spread through the cosmos, triggering a collapse of all known timelines into one singular chaotic timeline where all possible futures merge into a single unstable point. The universe itself might struggle to adapt to this level of temporal chaos, causing reality to warp and the rules that govern the natural world to break down entirely. If such a collapse were to occur, it might be impossible to distinguish between past, present, and future. Time itself could cease to exist in the way we understand it, and the universe could be left in a state of perpetual flux, no longer governed by linear progression, but instead in a state of timeless limbo.
These dangers have not been unnoticed by those who study the phenomenon. Some of the brightest minds in the scientific community have begun to theorize that the existence of temporal portals, though groundbreaking, must be approached with extreme caution. The mere idea of manipulating time has led to ethical concerns about the responsibility that comes with such power. Could these portals be safely explored, or would the risks of causing irreparable harm outweigh the benefits of discovering their secrets? The very act of changing one small detail in the past or future could have cascading consequences across the multiverse, potentially shattering entire realities in the process. There are also those who believe that the existence of temporal portals is a natural balancing mechanism, one that, if tampered with too recklessly, will reassert control over the timeline. Perhaps the universe itself is aware of the dangers posed by these paradoxes and actively seeks to correct any major interference with time. Some claim that the mysterious disappearance of certain individuals or events throughout history might be the result of the universe's attempts to erase anomalies caused by such temporal intrusions. The warnings are clear. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of time, the stakes only grow higher. Crossing through these portals might offer great knowledge and understanding, but it comes at a cost. Manipulating time, whether intentionally or not, could unravel the very structure of reality, leaving the universe in a state of permanent disarray. In the end, it may become clear that some things are meant to remain undisturbed, and that tampering with the delicate flow of time could come with a price far higher than we ever imagined. As the group of scientists delves deeper into the mysteries of temporal portals, they begin to notice an unusual pattern. At first, the anomalies are subtle, unexpected shifts in time, strange fluctuations in energy fields. But soon, these shifts grow more pronounced, as if something or someone is actively guarding the boundaries of time. It becomes clear they are not alone in their exploration of the temporal fabric. There are forces at work, forces that seem to be preventing humans from fully understanding or manipulating the nature of these portals. In their research, they encounter the first signs of these time guardians, mysterious beings who seem to exist outside the normal flow of time. These guardians are not simply observers. They are powerful entities tasked with maintaining the integrity of time itself. Some of these guardians manifest as physical beings, humanoid in shape, but with an eerie, otherworldly presence, seemingly woven from the very fabric of time. Others take on more abstract forms, appearing as energy fields or intangible forces, pulsating with the rhythm of temporal waves, constantly shifting and undulating like the very currents of time they protect. These guardians are not malevolent, but are instead entrusted with the duty of maintaining the balance within the temporal network. Their role is to ensure that no one, whether from the past, present, or future, can disrupt the flow of time or exploit the portals for personal gain. The deeper the scientists explore, the more they realize that their attempts to unlock the secrets of time could lead to irreversible consequences, and the guardians are there to make sure those consequences are avoided at all costs. The scientists begin to theorize that these guardians have existed as long as time itself, woven into the very structure of the universe to prevent temporal chaos. Their presence suggests that the portals are not a recent phenomenon. They may have existed long before humanity ever began to question the nature of time. These guardians may even be linked to the creation of the portals themselves, serving as a necessary counterbalance to the dangers of tampering with time. The first time the researchers come into direct contact with one of these guardians is a pivotal moment. They are in a remote research facility, deep in the heart of a desolate mountain range, when they encounter a strange energy field that blocks all attempts to access a key temporal portal. As they attempt to decipher the source of the disruption, the energy field begins to form a shape, an ethereal humanoid figure radiating with an intense, pulsating glow. This figure seems to watch them, not with hostility, but with a sense of ancient wisdom. It does not speak, but its presence communicates a clear message. Leave this place. It is not for humans to understand or control. As the scientists retreat, they begin to piece together the nature of the guardians. They realize that these beings exist in a parallel state, not fully bound by time in the way that humans are. They are in essence time's protectors, existing both within and outside of its flow. When the timeline is threatened, the guardians intervene, whether by guiding those who seek knowledge or by forcibly redirecting them when they come too close to unraveling the deeper secrets of the temporal fabric. These guardians are not simply sentient entities. They are part of the very essence of the temporal portals themselves, perhaps even representing the sentience of time. They may not understand human desires or intentions, but they recognize intrusion when it occurs. They are the unseen keepers, silently observing the threads of time to ensure that no force, whether human or cosmic, can disrupt the natural order. When someone comes too close to unlocking the secrets of the portals, these guardians intervene, not with violence, but with a quiet and deliberate push to re-establish the flow of time. In doing so, they act as an invisible force in the background, ensuring that the tapestry of reality remains undisturbed. But there is more to the story. As the scientists delve deeper into the enigma of these guardians, they begin to uncover a disturbing truth. These beings are not simply protectors of time, they are also its regulators. The portals themselves are not just doors to different moments in history, but rather mechanisms that balance and control the universe. The guardians are the agents that ensure the proper function of the entire temporal system. Without them, the very concept of cause and effect could collapse into chaos. The guardians are the living embodiment of stability, working tirelessly to ensure that the natural timeline progresses without interference. The scientists are left to wonder, are these guardians simply servants of a larger cosmic force? Or are they an intrinsic part of a greater universal consciousness that oversees the cosmos itself? Are they manifestations of a higher intelligence that has orchestrated the entire structure of the universe to maintain order? Or are they something else entirely? Beings that exist outside the boundaries of human comprehension, entrusted with the sacred duty of preserving the integrity of the universe. As the research progresses, the group becomes increasingly aware of the dangers posed by the guardians. They are not benevolent entities in the traditional sense. They are enforcers of a higher law. To attempt to cross their path is to challenge the very order of existence itself. Each interaction with the guardians is a reminder that time is not something that can be casually manipulated or controlled. It is a force far more powerful than any one person, any one species, or any one civilization can hope to understand. In the final stages of their research, the scientists realize that they have crossed a dangerous line. Their pursuit of knowledge has brought them too close to the core of time, and the guardians are becoming more aggressive in their interventions. The team must decide whether to continue their search for the ultimate truth behind the portals, or to heed the warnings of these cosmic protectors and abandon their mission before they irreversibly alter the course of history itself. The guardians, they now understand, are not just entities to be feared. They are the living and breathing embodiment of the universe's will to protect itself from the chaos that could arise from meddling with time. As they face the consequences of their actions, the scientists are forced to confront a chilling truth. Some mysteries of the universe may be better left undisturbed, lest the balance of reality itself be shattered beyond repair.
As the Guardians grow more insistent, their actions force humanity to question the true nature of time and reality itself. The more the scientists explore the temporal portals, the more they realize that time is not a linear path, nor is it a fixed sequence of events. Time, as they understand it, is a web, a multi-dimensional network of streams flowing alongside one another, sometimes intersecting, sometimes diverging, but always existing as parallel realities. The idea that these various timelines could someday converge, crashing into one another like cosmic waves, becomes an increasingly terrifying possibility. If these temporal rivers were to collide, the effects would be beyond anything humanity could prepare for. The boundaries between past, present, and future would dissolve, and all of reality could collapse into one vast chaotic moment. Imagine standing in a world where all versions of yourself from every point in time are present, living out their experiences simultaneously, where the memories of the past would not just linger in the mind, but would manifest in the physical world, and where the future could unfold before your very eyes. What would happen if all these different versions of existence, each with its own unique trajectory and laws of reality, were suddenly forced to coexist? Could the universe even survive such an event? Or would it unravel into a single fluid moment in which every possible outcome is realized at once? The thought is both awe-inspiring and terrifying,
because if this convergence of realities occurs, then the world as we know it will never be the same again. The team of scientists, now fully aware of the stakes, delves deeper into their research. They hypothesize that the portals may be the key to this cosmic convergence. These portals might not just be doors to other times. They might be bridges between dimensions, allowing not only time, but also different versions of reality to interact and merge. Each time they travel through a portal, they could be brushing up against alternate timelines, stepping into worlds where history unfolded differently, where the laws of physics might not apply, or where humanity never existed at all.
The clashing of realities is not just a theoretical idea. The scientists begin to witness subtle signs of these ripples in time as the boundaries between different timelines grow thinner. A person from one reality might catch a fleeting glimpse of their other selves from a different timeline, or a memory of an event they never lived through could suddenly flood their mind. At times, even the fabric of the world around them seems to warp and shift. An old building from the past may appear as if it were just constructed, or an object from the future might inexplicably materialize in their present. The more they explore, the more they realize that these strange occurrences are the universe's warning. Time is a delicate system, and it cannot simply be bent at will. As the team digs deeper into the mystery of the portals, they come to the realization that the Guardians are not just protecting time, they're preventing this convergence. They are the last line of defense between humanity and the ultimate collapse of reality. If the timelines were to merge, the result would be something beyond comprehension, a singularity in which all timelines, past and future, would coalesce into one overwhelming moment, one all-encompassing reality. As the researchers experiment further, they begin to experience these shifts themselves. One by one, they start to lose their sense of time. The days blur together. Memories of the past feel out of sync, and they have vivid visions of the future, moments that have not yet happened but seem imminent, as if they are glimpsing their own futures, or perhaps even lives they never lived through in alternate realities. Some of them begin to see versions of themselves from different times, standing in the same room, existing alongside one another, strangers, yet deeply familiar. Their reflections in mirrors begin to show them different faces, faces that belong to other versions of themselves, each one slightly altered by the choices they made in their respective timelines. The boundaries between self and other begin to dissolve. What does it mean to be one person when every possible version of you exists in parallel, each living out its own story? And what does it mean to exist in a world where time is not linear, where past, present, and future are not separate, but exist simultaneously, merging into a singular experience of reality? The scientists now realize that they are not just uncovering the mechanics of time, they are witnessing the very nature of existence itself, a reality far more complex and fluid than they ever imagined. As they attempt to stabilize the temporal flux they've uncovered, they are forced to confront the possibility that all timelines are connected, and that the end of one reality could be the beginning of another. The merging of these timelines, the collision of different realities, could lead to a profound rebirth of existence. In some ways, it would be a grand unification, a joining of all possible paths into a single cosmic event. But it could also lead to complete chaos, where the rules of physics and logic no longer apply.
In a moment of deep reflection, one of the scientists realizes something profound. Maybe this merging of realities is not something to be feared, but something that is inevitable. Maybe humanity, as a species, is meant to experience this convergence. Perhaps the purpose of existence is not simply to follow one path, but to understand that all paths are valid, and that the true nature of reality is not linear, but interconnected, that all times and all versions of reality are part of one great cosmic whole. As the team prepares for their final experiment to either stabilize or allow the merge, they realize they have come to the edge of an enormous truth. They are standing on the precipice of a new understanding of existence. Whether they succeed or fail, their research will have changed the way humanity views time forever. But with this knowledge comes a heavy burden. If the timelines truly do merge, then every action, every decision, every life will be interconnected. And the future will no longer be something set in stone. It will be fluid, shaped by every possible path and possibility. In the end, the question remains, will humanity be ready to face the ultimate merging of all realities? Or will they be consumed by the vast, infinite possibilities that will open up before them? Only time will tell.
In the end, the cosmos is not just space and time, but a vast network that connects different moments, realities, and possibilities. When we begin to realize our place in this network, we start to feel how every choice we make can rewrite history. Moment by moment, we move through worlds that exist only in the currents of time. And perhaps this journey is our greatest mission in this boundless universe.